Boy, you messed up my intro. I am going to one of my favorite paint stores, Porter Paints. I'm going to pick up a product that is like a rust inhibitor. It's kind of a, you know, there's a few miracle products in the construction industry. I've talked about them before. One is like Tyvek, you know, house wrap that was developed by DuPont in the 60s. And, you know, another example of that is this product. And I forgot the exact name of it. I don't use it but maybe twice a year, something like that, a couple of times a year. It's a product that you can roll on rust, and it basically molecularly changes it so that you can just paint over it. And I thought I might try it on a few parts of the M44 just to see what it looks like. You know, and of course, if it looks too rough, or, you know, I can always sand it, buff it, or whatever. Here we are. Okay, here we go. Skyco OSPHO. And you can see here, OSPHO causes the iron oxide rust to change, well, to chemically change to iron phosphate, an inert hard substance that turns the metal black, where rust is exceedingly heavy. 2 coats of OSPHO. Okay, whatever. It chemically changes the rust to something you can paint, which is very cool. So now we just have to go to Ace Hardware and get a little foam roller and get to it. No Saturday would be complete without a stop at Ace Hardware. So I just got one of those cheap liners, you know, to put the product in, and a few foam rollers, which are basically disposable. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate this product on my potbelly stove flue pipe. This was just a 3.5 inch sort of drop that I found at the steel store. So I just welded it up there. You can see I knew it would rust, but I wasn't really concerned about it. I've also got some rust going on my door, and that bothers me a little more than the rust on my flue pipe. So let me get the camera set up here and I'll show you how this is going to look. Just take our little roller. Our roller's not really rolling very well. I haven't done anything to this. I didn't wipe it down or anything. What I may do, I think what I'm going to do is leave, yeah, I'm going to leave part of it rusted on the back. And I'm just going to hit a few places on my pot belly, just to, I'll just roll that over the whole front of it. So you can see it's already started to change. Well, I know it's wet, but I can tell just by looking at it that it is changing. What I'll do is I'm going to leave this rusted. There's a good shot, and when that dries I'll show you the difference. This is interesting. I was sitting here enjoying the sunshine and waiting on it to dry, and I noticed that the liquid, you know, the OSPHO or whatever, was bubbling when it hit the concrete, so it's probably reacting to the Portland cement or lime or some chemical in the concrete. But you can see already the rust has been basically changed. Okay, it's been about 20 hours, not quite a whole day, but I wanted to film this before the sun got back around here because yesterday I had trouble with some shadowing in the video. So in a normal case, if I was doing this for a customer, I would wipe this down and, you know, make sure it was good and clean before I put the solution on there. You can see the rest just comes off on your hand. But since this is mine, I wasn't going to worry about it, and I just wanted to experiment a little bit with just putting the solution over the metal just to see what would happen if I didn't wipe it off. And as I thought, so I think I got my hands clean. There's nothing. So it feels pretty smooth too. What's interesting is, you see where the heat has been? I went ahead and rolled this area up here because I had those two raw steel angles there to support my grate. And where the heat has been the most on the pot belly, the chemical made it turn, you know, gray or white looking. So I'm not sure what that's about. I'm not sure if the chemical reacted with the coating that's on the barrel, but there's no, doesn't come off, and I don't know what that's about. I might have to try to figure that out, but I'm eventually going to put some heat resistant paint on the pot belly. I was waiting till all the paint burned off, the existing paint, because I didn't want to have to strip it. But you can see how good the cast iron door looks now. If you remember, all the little screws had rust on them. The handle, there's a spot I missed down there, you can see still got rust, but pretty cool. I may hit these spots again just to see what happens. And what I'm going to do now is just go ahead and finish these spots. I just wanted to show you what it looks like, the difference. You can see here where the tube was mended together. It came back out, just raw steel. Let's see what happens. I just go back over this again. Might be that I can get rid of that white. One reminder is that if you're working on concrete that you do not want to stain, do not do it. I put a piece of plywood down, or I don't think a drop cloth will do any good, but put something down or take it out in the yard because it'll stain the concrete. So there you go. I'm getting ready to try it on the rusted parts of my M44. So some of you will think that's crazy, but the problem is if you have metal that is pitted so badly you can't sand it down. In some cases you can't change. Like if I had a steel lintel above a window, I couldn't sand it down so much that I would remove all the pitting, because I would change the, I'd take so much metal off, it would you know, maybe screw with the integrity of the lintel. So I can use this solution on it to chemically change the rust, you know, to something that's acceptable. Yeah, changes it to iron phosphate. So, you know, that way I can just take care of the rust, paint it, and move on. But in this case, I'm just going to leave my potbelly stove the way it is and see what happens. It's Sunday and it's time to enjoy the day. Nice.